breath of fresh air.
TrippTalk Tech. You gotta see it even when it is far-fetched. Gotta believe in yourself in the process until you progress. It ain't complex. Take small steps. It's a long stretch. On the road to the riches won't be no getting winning. The survival of the fittest. So I'm going to get it. And we doing God's work. We ain't knowing no limits. And I'm doing this for y'all. So I'm hoping you get it. TrippTalk Tech. You gotta see it even when it is far-fetched. Gotta believe in yourself in the process until you progress. Till you progress.
As promised, we're back with part 2 of Vibe Killers. That's our series on things that are killing our vibrations, bringing them down, taking away from our energetic stack. Hey, today's topic, we're talking about drinking water. You definitely want to check this out. Recently, I was in Baltimore. I was rapping to one of my guys, and he actually he was at my house, and we were getting some water. And we were getting water, and I gave him water out my filter, and he looked at me and he's like, well, you know what's in there? So I just said, yeah, it's a water filter. It filters and cleans the water. I have this little meter, and it comes with a meter, right? But when we tested the water, the meter was right. It was pretty much nothing in the water. It was clean, didn't have any, I guess, dirt or whatever in it. But it also didn't have any minerals, because we also put some plants in the water, and then we started looking at the mineral compound that was coming out of that. That was giving us minerals plus filtration, plus it was filtered. But when I went through the regular store-bought filter, it had nothing in it. It stripped it of everything. So that left us with a dilemma. And he left me with a question. He was like, so how do you know what's in that filter? That was a good question. So I really did. So I had to do some research. And then we had the issue, I think Baltimore had an issue with the water that actually affects the water that I drink as well. And so that started making me think. And then what just happened in East Palestine, Ohio. We don't hear much from down there. Reports are coming in slowly, very slowly. And first of all, prayers out to you guys in Ohio. I hope you see this. I hope you, again, got your own mechanisms in place. Hopefully this video can help you a little bit. The EPA officials right now are saying that the air and the water are safe for the residents to return. However, there are reports out there where residents are suffering from sore throats, dizziness. They got some eyes are matted shut, headaches, the list goes on. Senator Brown, in a recent interview with CNN, said, and I quote, "We think that the water is safe," end quote. Now, they're recommending that even though the water is safe, that the residents at this moment go and still, get the bottled water. Bottled water, again, water in plastic, that's an issue in itself. I'm not sure if I'm trusting anybody that says we think. Would you? Another weird part about this whole water thing, especially in East Palestine, Ohio, is the whole Netflix movie White Noise, right? And it's almost exactly how the event happened. Long story short, this movie goes in and follows the family of this Hitler historian. Remember, this guy's a Hitler historian. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a Hitler historian. He actually was renowned. He was regarded, the university in that town, they loved him to death because he would make these guest speeches. He knew Hitler, how he thought. He knew how his mother thought. He would talk like his mom and go back and forth. They had a whole little thing in the movie. It was pretty cool. He knew his stuff about Hitler, but hold on to that. Now, the irony in this movie for me was that after the train wreck, right, it was a couple of days and then it was this explosion. Now, I don't think it was set by the people in the movie. I think it was just a natural cause and effect. But what happened was you see this big black plume cloud come over kind of the vicinity. The thing about this black plume was that it was contaminating the air, the soil, and the water supply. Now, the thing about that was, if you look, livestock was dying everywhere. You know, when people returned home, they were sick. It was just the same type of symptoms. According to the Washington Post, we learned that in real life, the EPA had decided that, you know what, let's try to get rid of this toxic chemical. Like I said, the main one I think being vinyl chloride. And they thought the best way to clean it up and the fastest way to clean it up was to burn this vinyl chloride. Sounds like I guess a good idea in the beginning, right? But if you do a little bit more research into vinyl chloride, if you burn vinyl chloride, it makes a gas or a substance known as phosgene. Well, Keith, I don't care. What is phosgene? Well, phosgene was used in World War I as a biochemical weapon of warfare. And guess who used it? Hitler. Again, not hating on Hitler, not my thing. But he used it back in Germany, and a lot of people and wildlife were destroyed that were in that contact area of the phosgene. Let's believe all of this is all coincidence. And let's just move on to the drinking water. So with that being said, your ground could be contaminated. Do you really think that your water is safe to drink? Even if it just, they burn the top layer and it's seeping and seeping. Or again, to Ohio River's own website, it says it feeds 5 million, not feeds, but it is a drinking source for 5 million people that border it. Just in case you want your own filtering that you don't know if it's stripping out your minerals or keeping your minerals, but getting rid of the bad stuff, we got something for you. Shout out D Rose, because again, he I got the model as far as how we should go about building one from something he posted in 2017. So again, let's get on this, people. This is not, I'm not saying if you don't do this, you'll get cancer tomorrow. If I'm not saying that if we don't do this, or if we keep drinking out of plastic bottles, it's going to be the indefinite end of your health. I'm not saying that, but if we know better, let's try to do better. Again, from plastic bottles, stop drinking out of the plastic. Try to go to glass. If you can store it in glass, and then get you a glass cup or whatever to carry it in to drink your water out of, that's probably going to be your best bet. Because again, you can filter, but then if you put it back in plastic and you store it in plastic, now you got to deal with the stuff that comes off the plastic that is also a carcinogen, or something that can aid to the expansion or growth of cancer. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, but if I'm you, especially if I'm in Ohio and I'm not necessarily trusting the water source, and again, we had this same problem in Baltimore City, in other counties where, again, you just don't know. And then they roll up with bottled waters. What's in the water? And again, I'm not saying it's anything bad, but let's go back to my example I used in the beginning of this video. Hey, I didn't know, and I still don't know, what's directly in the water filter that I buy off the counter. Doesn't mean that it's healthy. It just reads that it's, hey, no impurities in it, but there's nothing else in it either. So, you know, at TrippTalk Tech, we're not going to just leave you with a problem. We're going to give you a solution. Like I said, we'll put up kind of the picture somewhere right here of what it all looks like. But in the end, this is what you have. We got a nice little filter that you can put your water in. We got some holes at the bottom. I did a time lapse for you guys to show you the build process. We got a little bit of screen, like you would just rescreen your screen door or your window when your screen get a cut in it. That kind of screen, probably less than $10 for a whole roll that you can get a million of these things. You'll cut out the bottom of your 2-liter soda bottle. You'll make screens about the size of that cutout, and then you'll use that screen. Or you can use a coffee filter. You can use whatever. The coffee filters, since they're paper, you're gonna have to try to change them a lot more. That's why I go with the screen, because it got a little mesh in there and you can go right through. Put a little screen at your top, drill some holes in it. That way the water can come out freely. You put the water at the top. We got some gravel all the way at the top. That's it for Vibe Killers Part 2. Man, we hope we helped today. Like I said, we're not the end all be all, but we're just trying to share some information. But just make sure whatever you filter, store it in glass. Store it in glass. It'll be a lot more healthier for you. Glass, I'm sure if you don't have glass and you got a bunch of plastic, again, you want to kind of stay away from that. So if you could get glass, push glass. Also, if you could get copper containers, that will help you. It will actually really purify the water and get any kind of toxins out of it. Just the nature of copper, look it up. It will help you. Hey guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I thank y'all. Look, we're going to get healthy together. We're going to make sure that we fight through all this. And again, knowledge is power. The more we know, the better we do. And then generation over generation, we see that change. Be the change y'all want to see. I love y'all. Hey, look, Vibe Killers Part 3. Yeah, we coming with it. You're going to love that topic as well. But like I said, we're going to make working solutions for y'all. I love y'all. It's TrippTalk Tech.
TrippTalk Tech, you gotta see it even when it never's far-fetched. Gotta believe in yourself in the process until you progress, till you progress.